We say energy vampires. It really does seem like people can sniff it out. And I have said for years that they can smell us. Like our blood must smell the best to them. Our energy smells the best to them because they find us. When I was younger, I would find myself sort of feeling like I was like a target for energy vampires that wanted to be my friend or wanted to be close with me. But then when it was time to sort of show up and be my friend, like really didn't know how. Very confusing dynamic. Hello, I am here with Luca for the call-in show. I'm so glad to have you, Luca. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yay, so what's got you calling in? What is your question, madam?
How, when you have this highly sensitive thing, it seems to me that I attract people that want to drain my energy and
Mm-hmm.
worth. So
Mm-hmm.
I know I've got a lot of trauma to still work through. And I just, I had a bad year last year, and my best friend walked out on me for uh, reasons. Anyway, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
wondering, do I just need to do this by myself? I feel like people can see the brokenness in me, if you understand what I'm saying.
I am so glad that you were willing to submit this question because I have got some answers for you, and I think it's going to help so many people that are listening. It's a really hard truth that when we come from a lot of trauma, it really does seem like people can sniff it out. Like we say energy vampires. And I have said for years that they can smell us. Like our blood must smell the best to them. Our energy smells the best to them because they find us. I know when I was younger, I would find myself sort of crumbling, crying, sobbing, feeling like I was like a target for energy vampires that wanted to be my friend or wanted to be close with me. But then when it was time to sort of show up and be my friend, like really didn't know how.
Hmm.
It kept me in cycles of feeling abandoned and feeling scapegoated and feeling shamed. It's a very confusing dynamic. It's a dynamic that can get so strong and it's so serious that I think it's responsible for a lot of suicidal ideation and attempt. I think it's true. And it's one of those things that therapists don't like acknowledging because it's scary, right? That they can kind of sniff us out and find us. But it's the truth of what's going on. And I wish somebody would have acknowledged that truth to me when I was in that stage of healing. How's this sounding so far?
Yeah, yeah. I've said that too. You know, the last person I had to end contact with, I asked, "Geez, do you people smell me or what?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It's really what it feels like. Yep. So it's no big coincidence that we've both found that kind of language to describe it. So what I want to say to grown up you and for your inner child is that in this way, as you do more healing, you can change how you smell and you can learn to detract them instead of attract them.
Okay.
Next question is great, Nikki. How do I do that then? Right?
Yes.
Right. The big how. So I think it starts with understanding and really grounding ourselves in okay, this is really happening. I'm not imagining this. I'm not stroking some kind of victim mentality inside of myself. This is really going on. And from that ownership place is where we start to change it. So I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? Some of the people that have sort of wronged you or betrayed you or energy vampired you, if you go back to the first moments of meeting them, the first few interactions, is there anything in your gut, anything in your intuitive system that was like, this is a little iffy?
I am going to answer yes to most of them, and I often beat myself up about that. Yes.
Aha. So this is the first definitive how we have for you. You got to stop beating yourself up for that. I mean, when we say it out loud like this, you're beating yourself up for your healthy intuition.
Well, no, for ignoring it. For ignoring it.
Ignoring it. Yes. Yes. So can you give yourself a permission that from this moment forward, you're no longer going to dismiss yourself? That you will believe you when you have that sense? Because they might sense you, they smell you, but guess what? You smell them. You just haven't been dealing with it.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Um, I think sometimes yes, and sometimes I want so badly to be wrong, you know, because it's like
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
it can't be this again, and then it's like it is, and then I feel like I need to stay away from people in general. So it gets rough sometimes.
If you've been listening for a long time, I talk a lot about the pendulum swing. And one of the things we do as trauma survivors and highly sensitive people who attract energy vampires is we ignore our own intuition, beat ourselves up for it, and then when we get burned, we go, well, that's it. I'm not going to people anymore. That has to be the solution. And it's like the pendulum swings all the way to the other side. But then desperation builds up because we're built to be social creatures. Even the most introverted, most singular of us, we need human interaction. So then after the pendulum swings to, I'm not going to people anymore, that's really our inner child going, aha, I have the solution. No more people. And it's like, oh, honey, that's not a real
Yeah, I
solution.
know it's a little irrational. It just feels sometimes.
It's not that it's irrational, it's that it's too extreme. I think the impulse is right. The impulse of like, I need to pull away a little bit after getting burned. Anybody who touches a hot stove pulls their hand away, right?
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with that impulse of, oh, I need to pull away. I just got burned. It's just we don't want to pull so far away that we swing into the other polar opposite. So you have two poles going on. You've got the pole of, I feel some caution, but I want to override that because I don't want to be so disappointed in another human being. And then if you get burned, you go into the other extreme of, I just won't people anymore until that builds up. And then you swing back to, I guess I have to let another person in. Healthiness is not going to be at either of those poles. It's about understanding that polarity and going, okay, I have to ground myself in between these two poles in the center. So it's not about never peopling again, and it's not about having a sort of door wide open, any people can come in way of being. It's about I get to be discerning. And a lot of sensitive people give themselves a hard time because it feels judgmental.
It does a little bit.
So change that to discernment. Especially after a rough childhood, we have to give ourselves permission to be discerning about people, particularly because of this very dynamic you have shown up to ask me a question about. If we are the people, because like attracts like. When my energy knew being abused and treated poorly by people, my system sort of moved me around life to attract me to what I knew, not what was naturally good for me, but what was familiar.
Exactly. That's what I feel like I do. Uh-huh.
So you get to walk forward being intentional and discerning. And if it feels familiar, you get to move very, very slowly with that person. And if they start hitting your intuition as this is an energy vampire, this is not a good fit for me, this is not a high empathy, high maturity, high insight person that I'm looking for, then from this moment forward, I want to encourage you to give yourself permission, because I can't do it for you, to say, I get to be discerning about that. There are billions of people on this planet. I get to be discerning with the ones that come into my sphere. I will no longer judge myself for being judgmental when I'm actually trying to be discerning. What do you think?
That should make it easier.
Well, it won't be easy. It will not be easier at first. It will not be easier the second, the third, the fourth time. Any new thing that we pick up makes us feel so inadequate and dumb and like we don't know what we're doing, and it feels so uphill. Can I ask you to radically accept that it's going to be hard and then later it'll be easier?
Yes. Yes.
What does that acceptance do for you? What does it feel like?
Um, a path. It
Yay.
feels like a path. So where
You get to have a
I didn't
path.
have one. So thank you.
Yes. Yes. Do you see how if you judge yourself harshly, you're down on yourself, you're sort of beating your own self-worth down? That smells really good to the energy vampires, Luca.
Yes.
So we have to help you get sort of in a different direction there and understand that it's a pattern. And so you just got to catch that pattern. And you're going to miss that pattern because we're creatures of pattern and you're going to catch it. You might catch it 5 minutes later. You might catch it the next day. But you get to catch that pattern and go, wait a minute, I'm judging myself again. Would I need to give myself permission to be discerning?
One of those things, like that's a good trigger, huh?
Yes. Yes. Do you see how reasonable that is?
Yes.
That you get to reasonably evaluate people that you're letting in?
Yes.
One of the things that I've come to know is just it feels like a tall hurdle or a big hill that we have to get over. Almost everybody I've ever met who's a highly sensitive person, they sense their intuition. They just ignore it and dismiss it. And the shift to living from it, to respecting what your intuition is showing you, that's the game changer. So if an energy vampire walks up to me today and my intuition starts going, uh-oh, this isn't good. From that awareness, I can be more authentically me. So I might say to somebody like that, I don't know if we're jiving too well. I don't know if we're a fit. And if they go, oh no, we're a really good fit. I have to stay true to me and not let somebody else's idea lead me where it's not a good place for me to go.
Yes.
What do you think?
That's
Yeah, can you put that into words? What might that be like for you to incorporate?
that's going to be probably the difficult part for me. And I am an introvert, and usually it takes someone else's idea to get me to do something, or whatever. So I'm a follower, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So, to take a stand for myself, a people pleaser too. So there, there we go. So to take a stand for myself is hard. Um,
Yes. Yes, but it's essential. And look, people pleasing healing is not about you never pleasing people, never being led by somebody. It's about you being discerning about who you're letting lead you. And it's also about you becoming the main person on that list that you please. If your intuition says, this person is exhausting me, I want to leave, or I don't want to do this again, you get to be self-respecting of that. You get to please those desires.
I think it's going to be work, but
So I can't see you right now, but can I ask you to sort of like shake your shoulders out, like loosen up a little bit? It's like I can hear it. It's like you're like, this is the work I must do. It's like it's got like a like a serious heft to it, right? You have so much power to just soften that. It's not a, oh man, I have to do this. It's, I get to do this for me. Will you play around with that? Can I hear you say that? I get to do this work for me. This is good.
yes, I get to do this. I can do this. I can do difficult things. That's been my motto for a little bit here.
Yes. What are you feeling as you're saying this out loud?
um, a little bit of lifting. Little bit of lifting.
When you have a little bit of lifting, this might not be true 100% of the time, but I'm going to say maybe 99%. You're thinking healthy thoughts when you feel a little lifted. If you start feeling that old familiar down on yourself, That's old, funky pattern stuff. And you don't have to operate from that old, funky pattern. And you can notice it and push it aside and go, what is this new thing I'm practicing? Yeah, I get to do this for me. It's a completely different vibration, it's a completely different frequency. See, you've had a lot of your life that has been really, really hard. I'm going to say this out loud, and if you want us to edit it out, we totally will. But when you wrote into me, you said you even spent a summer living on the streets
I,
at 10 years old.
I did. Yes.
That is a primer for everything feeling difficult. And part of what I want from you, or for you rather, is to know that this season of your life gets to feel lighter, even while you do this beautiful work, this work that is sometimes hard. Even this work gets to feel lighter for you. You have worked so hard to build a life, to get to safety, to get to security. Oh, it's choking me up. I want you to know that you have the power to offer yourself lightness. You don't have to pick up this work like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a 100-pound boulder. No, it gets to be light. It even gets to be easier on you. There's an ease in just listening to your intuition and going, okay, I hear that. This might not be my person.
That I had it's been a couple months actually since I wrote into you, I think, and at that point I was feeling a desperation and a horrible loneliness. And that has actually eased enough so I let go of another toxic relationship all on my own, without anything happening. I just decided to stop talking to the person. And whereas, before I would, want just anyone. I just, as long as anyone was there, it was hard for me to lose anyone, even if it was bad. So, with listening to you and other things, I've been doing a lot of work in the last year or so, a lot. So
Are you proud of you?
I'm getting there.
You don't have to be perfectly proud of you to be proud of you. Would it be okay to be proud of yourself right now for the effort, the hard work, the changes?
Yes,
Can I hear you acknowledge that? Go
I
ahead.
have made changes. I have made changes. It's
Can you say the words? And I am proud of
I
myself.
am I am proud of myself.
At the risk of you wanting to like throw a pillow at my head, can I ask you to say it again?
So these little parts that want to beat on me can hear it. Yeah, that I am proud of myself.
That's right. You sounded stronger that time. I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath and say it again with your full self.
I am proud of the changes that I have made.
Yes, ma'am. You sounded like you grew like 2 inches. What did that feel like?
It felt pretty good.
Sweet woman, you get to offer yourself goodness and goodness and goodness and goodness, lightness and ease. As you do, that's part of what changes that smell so that the energy vampires can't smell you. Self respect, self love is part of what repels them. And I think you have done tremendous work on yourself. This is just about fine tuning what you've already done. Enoughness is a really important concept coming from your background. And I just want you to hear from someone very directly that you are enough. You have done enough, even though there's more to do. So, what would you like to take away from this call today?
Well, that it just I think you showed me a little bit of, maybe even a lot, power that it's hard for me to feel, that yes, I get to do this. I can do this, not the, I have to do this. And you know, these are things like I there are things I can do, and I have a path. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to encourage you too to reframe how you look at yourself. Sweet woman, you survived the streets at 10 years old. And that is merely one thing you have shared with me about you. I can only imagine the other things that you have overcome. Start seeing yourself as a powerful being. I'm not blowing smoke. Objectively, you are. And it is okay and right and allowed for you to start connecting with letting yourself feel your personal power.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Um, no, I think I got it all out. I feel much better though.
I'm
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So I want to send you some things. And so let me ask. Maybe you've already done some of these things. Have you done my peace course?
I did one. I think that was a narcissistic relationship one though.
Like the workshop, like on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we're gonna send you the peace course, and no pressure. Do it. Don't do it. Don't feel a pressure. Don't feel an obligation. But I want to send you the 30 days to peace course. It's easy, it's light, it's the vibes that we sort of talked about today. And I think spending some time with that, if you want to and if you're willing, may help you just cultivate an easier vibe inside of yourself. Would you like that, or would that feel like a pressure or another thing to do and you're already have enough on your plate?
Oh no, sure. That's like a clear step thing. I like those.
Good, good. We will send a follow up email and get that to you. Okay, so much light and love. I'm so glad we were able to do this. Thank you so much for opening yourself up and risking with me.
No problem. Thank you.
If you'd like to see if your question is right for Emotional Badass and see if you could be right for our call-in show, come to emotionalbadass.com/call. Light and love, y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being out there working on yourself. I am an emotional badass. Luca is an emotional badass. You are an emotional badass. And together, we are all where Moxie meets mindful. Light and love. Until next time, take care. And I'll see you right here for a brand new episode. Bye bye.